welcome to the Digital Education Initiative of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University Lucknow, and as a part of that initiative, here is another lecture on the subject VLSI technology having subject code KEC 053. I am your faculty Sangeeta Mangesh from JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida. I am working in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Now, today's topic of the lecture is epitaxial growth process basically, and in this particular lecture we are going to study what is exactly the meaning of it, what is exactly the thermodynamics and kinetics involved in the epitaxial growth process. We are going to understand the applications of epitaxial growth in the IC industry, or where we use this particular epitaxial growth process. At the end of this lecture, I expect that you should be able to understand the meaning, or you should be able to define the epitaxy, understand how it is different from the normal film deposition. Secondly, you should be able to discuss different categories of it and techniques like kinetics involved in the growth process. Thirdly, you should be able to list out different applications where this epitaxial growth process is very important, or it giving you some advantages or giving you some benefits. Okay, that is basically useful applications related to this particular epitaxial growth process. Now, let us start. Now, epitaxy is a word which has come from Greek. Now, what are the two words? One is epi and another is taxis. Now, epi stands for upon and taxis is basically ordered or organized. Now, anything which is upon and organized is called as epitaxy. That means, epitaxy can be translated to arrange upon, that is growth of an epi layer with controlled thickness and doping in which substrate acts as a seed crystal. That means, you are having a seed crystal, you are having a seed wafer surface on which exact replication is being produced. Now, this production of replicated layer, replication of the surface layer with exact properties as the surface layer, and this beautiful technique or this particular beautiful property which is incorporated in the epitaxial growth gives its important, like that is why it is that is why it is important, that is what it is giving its there lies its significance. Now, what are the key features of this? It is the deposited film takes on a lattice structure and the orientation identical to the substrate. I told you it is exact replica of the substrate. Whatever chemical whatever crystal orientation it is, chemical properties it is having, electrical properties it is having, same will be replicated because entire crystal lattice structure will be same. Second, a single crystal substrate acts as a template for the film growth. Whatever is the wafer crystal orientation on the what you call surface, same will be replicated. It will work as, or it will give work as a template, it will work as a seed for growing the next layer. Now, since this is the epi layer, epi is organized way of forming a layer on the substrate. Now, here you are having a substrate, this is the substrate and this is the epi layer. So, if you are having, so that means see the difference between the film deposition and the epitaxy. Now, here if you see the film deposition has got like epi layer is, or this substrate as having the bond or the oriented bonds in this particular angle, whereas the epi layer formed will be exact replica of only surface atoms which are there, whereas in case of epitaxy entire composition will be replicated as it is, and that is what is, there lies the beauty of your epitaxial growth process. And this is what is exactly atomic structure replication, their bonds, their chemical properties, everything will be replicated, and therefore, the epi layer is different from the film film deposition can be a polycrystalline material or amorphous layer being deposited onto it, and that may have different orientation, whereas epi layer is exactly same as the seed crystal, and the seed crystal works as a template. So, replica of the template will be formed. Now, since there are two materials involved, there are two classifications or two categories in which the material can be or the layer can be formed. Now, if the material is of the same substrate as substrate material, the epi layer what you are growing is the same as that of the substrate. So, both materials are same, then we call it as homoepitaxy. Homo means same. So, home layer is regrown and that we call it as a homoepitaxy. Now, where do we use homoepitaxy? The film can be made more free of, it can be made pure, it can be made defect from what you call substrate defects can be eliminated, and therefore, whatever category of the substrate is, whatever class of substrate is, same class will be replicated, same class will be regrown, so that the properties can be further extended, and that is what is the importance of this particular homoepitaxy. In commercial market or in commercial, like commercially whatever like applications of epitaxy use, majority of the cases are heteroepitaxy, where the substrate and the layer are of dissimilar materials. Since I told you there are two materials, substrate and wafer. So, if they are same, we call it as homoepitaxy. Homoepitaxy means if you want to extend the same material to larger this one, इसी को आगे बढ़ाना है, then you go for homoepitaxy. Whereas, if you want to lay a layer or if you want to grow a material which is of different nature, then we go for heteroepitaxy, and this is the most what you call important feature which is largely used in commercial applications, and all the materials are basically chemical processes are incorporating this. So, here this is basically used for BJT, CMOS or compound semiconductors such as gallium arsenide. Now, what is this particular thing? See, you are having a amorphous material, okay. You have a polycrystalline material which is to be deposited onto silicon dioxide. Now, silicon dioxide is again insulator, it is having order, but silicon dioxide whenever grows onto silicon wafer, it is the bond adhesion is best. We have seen that in when we saw the importance of silicon in the semiconductor industry. Now, since the adhesive property is very good, same properties of silicon dioxide can be, and the high resistivity of polycrystalline material or polysilicon can be used, like both combinations can be done, like properties of the material, properties of the layer and the advantages of polysilicon can be incorporated if we deposit polycrystalline silicon on silicon dioxide. So, this is what is the beauty of. Now, why do you use this particular thing? Heteroepitaxy, it has got ability to control the band gap, it has got can be used to confine electrons, and in quantum wells you can use them for quantum wells for some small scale geometries, you can use them for optoelectronic devices, you can use for them for band gap engineering, and therefore, this heteroepitaxy is very important. Here the constraints are there while growing, that we are going to see in the next slide. Now, what is the motivation behind that? Now, the motivation behind growing this is basically you are having high purity material, high purity layer, very low defect density, abrupt interfaces also, like low defect density, but at the same time you can have abrupt interfaces also can be created. You can have controlled dopant profiles within the layer, you can have high reproducibility of this particular thing and uniformity in the growing of the layer. So, this is what is the most important thing, you have got high repeatability, same process can be repeated multiple times, it will have same properties, same way in which it is being incorporated, and there will be uniformity throughout the layer what is being formed. It is safe and efficient operation, and therefore, it is one of the most important operation which is incorporated as a part of your wafer fabrication or designing or in the VLSI technology. Now, they can create, I told you, they can create clean, fresh surfaces which are essential for design fabrications. Now, since it is replicating the substrate itself, this original, see whenever you want to create a copy of anything, the original has to be pure, then only the copy can be pure. So, similarly here also if the wafer surface has to be pure, then only the replica can become pure. So, here also surface preparation is an essential part for your epitaxial growth, unless and until. Now, why do we need that? You need that because the defect has to, like there should not be any defect, because same defect will get replicated into the epitaxial growth. You want to avoid that, and therefore, this is very important thing. Secondly, the passivation of surface with water has to be carried out, because you need to drive away all the metallic, organic, non-metallic basically impurities, any foreign elements, because they can create any, okay, they can like get replicated, same defect will be replicated in the surface grown in the epitaxial growth process. And therefore, you need to know this, these are the three aspects which are essentially to be taken care of prior to going for epitaxial growth process. Now, why do we, okay, what is exactly the thing which is happening onto the during the process? You know already, since it is a process where your layer is getting replicated, you need something which has to come and which has to get deposited onto the substrate. The material which is coming or basically getting driven from somewhere from the outside, that has to, like your temperature substrate, like that substrate where that deposition has to happen, has to have slightly heated substrate. Then the temperature whatever, okay, the temperature whatever is happening, the epitaxial temperature exists above which the deposition, basically what does that mean? Your wafer is at a particular temperature. Now, normally when you are, please understand, when you want to carry out the process and you are introducing it to a material which has to get deposited. Now, there has to be a chemical reaction or there has to be a process or some suitable condition where the process has to get initiated. Unless and until you have a suitable condition, the process will not get initiated. And to have that suitable condition or to have that deposition possible, the temperature of that wafer, okay, whatever wafer where the deposition has to happen, that has to be sufficient enough to initiate the deposition process where the layering can happen, and that is what is one of the important thing. The species which you want to deposit, they can be, should be able to orient, okay, they should be able to orient themselves exactly onto the wafer substrate. That is one of the important thing, and therefore, you must have proper lattice arrangement or lattice matching is must before you decide that, especially in case of heteroepitaxy, if A material is to be grown, if material A is the substrate and B is to be grown onto it, there has to be perfect lattice matching between A and B. And unless and until that is possible, like that is matching or lattice matching is not happening, the growth process will not get or properly done up. So, this is an essential condition or this is an essential thing prior to going for epitaxial growth process. So, the material which is to be deposited, the species which are to be grown onto or the like regrown onto the particular substrate are essentially should have, okay, lattice matching. And since this particular process is layer by layer happening, slowly happening, it is a very slow process comparatively, and the rate at which it is grown is varying from 0.1 to 4 nanometer per minute. Now, what I was talking about lattice mismatch is being shown over here. Now, see exactly here there is, see, the matching and mismatch is being shown. Now, unless and until you have lattice constant matching, you cannot have proper crystal growth happening or wafer growth or layer growth happening, epitaxial growth happening, and this is what is being shown over here. Here you are having some vacancies because of the stretch. See, here you are having perfect matching of the alignments of the crystal, okay, whatever crystal properties are, they are exactly matching, and here you are having, see, here it is a stretched bond being shown, and here also there are some vacancies, strained or elongated but unbroken bonds are being shown. So, unless and until you have perfect matching between the substrate and the EP layer being formed, so this is your layer to be grown, this is the original material. So, unless and until you have exact matching between the original material, that is lattice constant matching between the original material and the epilayer growth, you cannot have proper epitaxial growth happening, and therefore, this property is essentially to be taken into account. This is the essential requirement prior to going for epitaxial. layer growth process. Please understand. So, you have to have perfect lattice matching, then only you can go ahead with epitaxy. Now, what are the different things which are happening during the epitaxial process? I told you first you have to have the species which are to be deposited. So, you have different what you call processes which are happening during the epitaxial growth. Now, what is happening? First, you are having arrival of, or there are three categories or three zones under which this particular process is being studied. Now, first is known as arrival of atoms. Now, this arrival of atoms will have, okay. So, you have a furnace or you have a area where, or you have a zone process where this particular thing is happening. Your wafers are placed over there or placed in the area or a furnace where this growth process is happening. So, you need to first ensure that the arrival of species is in proper concentration, proper heated environment. This environment should be adequate enough to initiate the growth process to happen. Now, when this arrival is happening of the species, the rate at which they are arriving is very important. The volume or the concentration with which they are arriving as well as the temperature with which they are arriving is very, very important. Second is surface reaction. Now, what is exactly? Unless and until there is adequate temperature onto the wafer substrate, so that the deposition happens, that is exact crystal, okay. The crystal gets exactly aligned and matches here and gets deposited here. You cannot have the epitaxial growth process. So, you have to ensure that the temperature and the crystal matching or lattice property matching has to be ensured. Secondly, that means you need to have diffusion. Now, this diffusion is basically a thermal diffusion at elevated temperature. Now, there are two things which can happen. One is known as chemi-absorption or chemically absorption will happen, like chemical reaction will happen. There will be surface diffusion. Now, what will happen because of chemical absorption or chemical there will be chemical reaction. Now, any chemical reaction will result into byproducts getting formed. Now, if those byproducts are useful, they can be kept over there itself. Otherwise, you have to ensure. So, this is the part of the second. So, you have to take care of whatever byproducts are getting formed and what is exactly getting deposited. These are the two categories or these are the two things which you need to remember as far as the kinetics goes into or kinetics involved in the epitaxial growth process are concerned. So, arrival mein you need to take care of the process flow, concentration and the temperature. Second phase, you need to know what is the temperature of the substrate, the chemical reaction happening, the gaseous deposition happening, that has to be ensured. The rate of deposition, that also has to be taken into consideration. The lattice matching and other things also are taken, like constant matching, that lattice constant matching also is to be taken into account. And then whatever absorption, adsorption, both things whatever are happening, you need to take into account that. And after that, the third phase comes into picture, and that is the removal of byproducts. Once the growth has happened, whatever chemi-absorption, I told you that chemical absorption has taken place, or chemical reaction that has taken place onto the surface, that has resulted into formation of byproducts. Those byproducts should be easily driven away along with the flow of those materials. Like, it is not always happening that whatever atoms or whatever species are arriving, all are getting deposited. It will never happen. Some will get deposited, some are to be driven away. And this flow, those driven away things are also taken, like are equally important, because these unless and until you remove the byproduct, the epitaxial layer growth is not going to be successful, not going to be proper. So, since epitaxial is replica of the original one, you do not want any byproduct to get incorporated, and that has to be essentially driven away. So, therefore, the kinetics or the total process involves three aspects. One is arrival. Arrival involves controlling the concentration, controlling the temperature of species that are to be deposited. Those species should have same lattice constant as that of the original substrate, so that the epitaxial growth process is properly done. then surface reaction that is happening, and thirdly you must know the byproducts should be successfully driven away. Thus, the thermodynamics involved is chemical potentials and the driving force involved in the species or associated with the species. So, whatever chemical potentials the species should have, what is the driving force with which the species are arriving is an important thing. Secondly, it is basically mass transport controlled phenomena. It is the way in which, like, it is basically a mass controlled transport phenomena, because the transport is happening in large quantity here and it is very sensitive to temperature changes. So, any variation in temperature can degrade the performance or degrade the layer formation. So, that is what is very important. So, enough close enough to equilibrium that chemical forces can drive the growth are minimized to avoid the creation of defects and allow the correct ordering. So, unless and until you have controlled high temperatures, okay, you need to have proper temperature control, you need to have chemical forces to be should be at equilibrium, so that after the chemical reaction whatever byproducts are there, they should not create any damage to the wafer and should be immediately you should be able to dislodge them immediately. Thirdly, the energy and time with which the species are arriving and getting deposited are adsorbed should reach, they should immediately go to the lowest energy state once the deposition happens, because then only they will be able to duplicate the lattice structure, otherwise it will not happen. If they are high energy particles, they will get bombarded, they will impart their energy to other, that can also create damage onto the surface. Thirdly, the thermodynamic calculations allow the determination of solid deposition based on growth temperature and the substrate composition, okay, and the source composition. Whatever source composition is, based on that your entire formation of epitaxial growth or epitaxial layer will depend. So, you need to a lot of chemistry, lot of thermodynamic calculations go into the development of this particular, and over a period of time it is being very well researched, and all the models are available, based on which you have a simulated environment also under which you can carry out this particular process, and then actual get into the chamber and get it done physically. So, you have simulations also. Now, what are the kinetics involved? We know already, we have studied already, or we have shown in the diagram also. You have mass transport of the reactants onto the surface. Then second, this is called as a part of arrival, process. After that, after arrival, they will react with the liquid or gas and form the layer onto it. Thirdly, the process happening onto the surface where the lattice matching is happening and your growth is happening onto the surface, whatever is the surface, same growth is happening onto the surface. So, same thing, and it is a controlled way in which the ordering of the atoms is happening and the growth is taking place. So, this is how the basics of epitaxial growth process we have studied. It is a ordered process, it is a very well organized process, involves heating, then chemical reaction, byproduct formation. Those byproducts should have minimum energy level and they should be able to get dislodged very easily. So, these are the basic things we have seen. We are going to study the actual processes also, but prior to that let us have what you call exposure to the application areas where this particular thing is being used. Now, where do we use? Because once you know the application, you have been using them, you have been watching them like in your daily life, but you do not tend to recollect that. So, now you will be able to correlate and thereby you will be able to understand it in a better manner, and therefore, I am explaining you those particular things. So, let us check out what are the first application is engineered wafers. Now, what does that mean? You can have a layer, clean layer onto the Si substrate, and on top of that Si substrate you can have silicon on insulator. So, you have something known as SOIs getting created, and these SOI wafers are is basically a need of an hour, like many devices have been fabricated onto it. Basically for memories it is very useful, memory devices or this one, because it is preventing the leakage, and it is very good, thermally very stable and very useful. So, one of the ways in which this particular, so you have something known as silicon, and on top of it you are having silicon dioxide, and such wafers are being used for commercial commercially for fabricating memories onto it, and those are known as silicon insulator. Similarly, since you have exact perfect matching of the crystal lattice constants, you have something known as silicon and sapphire also. This is basically heteroepitaxy. This is heteroepitaxy. You have silicon crystal, single crystal silicon, and you have amorphous what you call silicon dioxide onto it. This is heteroepitaxy. But here now you will have again a question, ki why, if you are saying the layer is getting replicated, how can you have silicon dioxide of one crystal and silicon dioxide you are saying amorphous? No, but the thing is, whatever way in which it is being done, the orientation of the material which is being deposited is exactly the same, so that there are no tensions, or there are no, that we have seen already, the lattice is arranged in such a way that the bonds are not stretched, or there is no elasticity available, like those bonds are within their elastic limits itself. So, the operation or the what you call feature or the electrical properties will not deviate, and that is the reason for which these things are being used. Now, silicon and sapphire is one of the important thing which gives you best lattice constant, but the yield is less and it is slightly expensive, and that is why, though it is very good, lattice constant is perfectly matching, it is not commercially being used largely because of the low yield and cost problem. Another thing for engineered wafers, you like engineered wafers or what you call modified wafers, tailor made wafers you can have, and that is because of the high purity layer, and you can have low quality substrates also, such as silicon carbide. Those are also used for different applications which are low cost applications. In CMOS processes, you know already there is a latch up which is happening. So, layers of different dopings essential for SCR, TRIAC, high voltage and high power discrete products can be used, or components can be used, and these layers can be grown, these layers can be created for device manufacturing using epitaxial growth process, such as here it is a P layer on the top of P plus substrate to avoid the latch up. Latch up is one of the major problem happening because of the what you call NPN area formed within this particular, you have in our MOS device also you have something known as this particular thing, this is N plus, this is N plus region, and this is a P substrate. Now, here PNP transistor getting formed, and that transistor can conduct at any time, and that can result into leakage currents getting formed. So, you do not want that. So, you have something known as buried layer being formed. This is another example of a device where here you are having P substrate, you are having this N. For isolation also you make use of epitaxial growth process, which is being here you are using oxide layers getting deposited or grown using epitaxial growth process, which are isolating the devices. So, device isolation is also one of the method. So, N-well MOS structure, the fabricated lightly doped P epitaxial layer, this is also one of the ways. So, buried layers are formed in your NPN junction transistors. Bipolar transistors, here see NPN. So, you cannot have like abrupt junctions you can create. Here you are having heterojunction bipolar transistors, you can have group 3 and group 5 devices, you have LEDs, optoelectronic properties also can be managed, optoelectronic properties can be managed by band gap engineering, and that also can be done using epitaxial growth process. Thirdly, you can have laser properties also, like I told you all optoelectronic properties in compound semiconductors can be very well managed using band gap engineering, and therefore, you have got this epitaxial growth process, basically heteroepitaxy being widely used in all the optoelectronic devices, and it is essential what you call in designing of optoelectronic devices. So, before we end, let us summarize. If you are able to answer these questions, what is epitaxy? Mention the types and general requirements, essential requirements of epitaxial growth process. Secondly, what are the application areas where this epitaxial growth process is being used, and if you are able to answer these questions, let us go ahead with the actual process of epitaxial growth using chemical vapor deposition. So, whatever kinetics and like whatever processes we have seen, like arrival, deposition and driving away. So, all these three we will together study in this next lecture, and thank you, God bless and good luck.